Hello, I'm John McAllister with the John McAllister Sports Report. Today we're going to go into football recruiting area around the state, and my guest is a big offensive lineman, 6'5", 265, athletic lineman from Liberty Center High School. Kellen Wymer is a prospect. He's in the class of 2027. And I say he's a good offensive line prospect because he's thin and he can run and he can change direction. He can bend. He can do all those things. He's not one of those big, fat linemen with the big legs. He's just the opposite. And I told him earlier, get to 285 someday in high school and stay there. But I like him. I think he's gotten some really nice early offers, including the Buckeyes, Michigan State, Indiana, some really good schools. Also, Toledo has offered him good schools. And he has a ways to go, but at least those schools know about him. And really appreciate you sitting back and watching my video podcast with Kellen Wymer from Liberty Center High School. And I would say one more thing. My old good friend, Rex Lindgren, is retired, but he was a tremendous football coach there. Thank you. Okay, like I said earlier in the intro, my guest today is Kellen Wymer from Liberty Center High School. And for those of you who don't know, one of the best smaller school programs in Ohio, and it's in Northwest Ohio. Now, I love going there, but it takes 2 hours. You got to drive through the country and get there. But it's a great football tradition, and they put out some really, really good football players. And I have to say, first of all, real quickly, to my old friend, Rex. He's a head football coach there one time. And if he ever watches this, I love him. Kellen, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Recruiting has just taken off for you, hasn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's good. That's good. Off the air, I'll give you some advice. Okay, Kellen, tell me, let's talk about you, and then we'll do a little bit of recruiting at the end. But I'd rather talk about you right now. Okay, when did you get into football?
I'm sorry, what was that?
When did you start getting into football? How old were you, and what did you like about it?
Yeah, so for me, I've been raised into a football family. My dad's from Liberty Center, and here we have a great tradition of starting young in flag football. So would have been kindergarten. I would have started flag football at Fireman's Park in Liberty Center, doing flag football. With my friends that I'm in the same grade with now. So we grow up together, and it's a tradition. As we're learning the same plays in flag football. We're writing it down on boards, and
Right.
and for me, I think I just love the physicality of the game. I've loved the team aspect and the brotherhood that it brings with it.
Good. Tell me, we talked about what other sports do you play? Don't you play basketball?
I do not. I actually grew up wrestling most of my whole life pretty much,
Oh,
and
wow.
I did
Okay.
it. I did it up until my freshman year, and going into my sophomore year, I decided to focus more on football, but I still do track in the spring.
Okay. How'd you do in track this year?
Oh, I didn't throw a whole lot of varsity. We had
Okay.
actually we had a state champ on our
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, I saw him throw.
Yeah, he's real good.
It's amazing.
Stud.
He's back, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
That's really good. Okay. Wrestling year long. When did you hit that growth spurt? I mean, you're 6'5" every day.
Yes, sir.
and weigh about 265 every day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll tell you what, and you probably think I'm don't know what I'm talking about, but man, once you hit 285, stop. Don't go into don't they should if they told you that they're wrong because I've watched you at 285 and that's pretty good. Okay, the colleges will put that get you to 300. And one of the advantages you have, and we'll talk about it later, is you have really good feet, really athletic, and you bend pretty well. Okay, I mean, and you drive block, and but as with the new offenses, as you know, and you've been told, feet are the key. Feet and crazy hands. Crazy hands. Those are the two things you really that you do pretty well and stuff. Okay, we talked about other sports. When did anybody that you look back so far? You're in a tradition-rich school. Anybody really been a driving force to you, push you along the way?
You
Anybody?
know,
Go ahead.
sorry about that. Yeah, looking back to the past, Blake Lingren, I think I've always heard how great he was, and I
He
think that's
was.
really motivated me to be a better player for our program, and to be able to play just as good as he was. And going back to this season and last season, I think that Xander Zeiter really pushed me to be the best I could on my one of my teammates.
Okay, that's really good. Good. Okay, what do you? I have not posters, but sayings. And when I taught school and when I coached football, I had sayings all over the place. Is there any saying that you live by? Any words of wisdom that you live by? I
I
mean,
think that for me and our team, I think a saying we like to go by is, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
and then that all changes, right?
That's right.
Okay, it's really good. By the way, you guys runners up or champions last year?
We're runners up.
Okay, and okay, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. I know it's not first, but it's
Right.
second, and that's not too bad when you're talking about all the schools playing football in your level. Okay, it's good. Okay, let's talk about schoolwork. Is the library a foreign country to you, or do you work pretty hard in the library?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a pretty good student. I think grades and academics are just as important as sports, and they should come first. So I think that that's important to me is to make sure I'm keeping a good GPA and staying, because at the end of the day, football can get me a free, great education, and I think that's a blessing. But I've got to obviously care about the classroom.
Any long range plans when you decide to get a real job? I mean, hopefully you'll play football sometimes, maybe as much as you can, but as long as you can. But anything after that?
Yeah, I think I'd like to get a good degree in either business and marketing or
Okay.
sports management, so I wouldn't mind staying in football after
Yeah,
football as maybe a coach or a recruiter or
good,
something like that.
good. Who knows what's going to be like? I've done this for over 30 years. Well, who knows what it's going to be like in the next 5 years? Because
Yeah.
it's getting crazier, crazier. Okay, first stupid question, or excuse me, silly question. If you could spend one whole day, 6 in the morning till midnight or till 11 o'clock at night, if you could spend that with somebody, just who would it be? Or trade places with them, who would it be? Who would you love to trade places with?
That's a good question. Um, I'd have to say I'm a big fan of TJ Watt.
Okay, okay, okay. You're playing offensive line, though, right?
I am, yeah, but I've
I,
grown up
I
with,
know he's
huge.
a he's a heck of a worker. He's really really good, and I worry. I think he's taken a lot of hits and given a lot of hits. I worry about his physical or mental capability. I mean, It's got to weigh on him a little bit, I think. Okay, let's talk about football. Okay, what do you think are your strengths right now, Kellen? What are
I
your
think.
strengths?
I'm sorry. What was that?
What are your strengths as a football player?
I think that probably my ability to get to point A to point B. I think I'm pretty fast for a big guy in my footwork, and you know how I can move all together as a whole. I think it's pretty solid.
How about pass blocking? How, because you guys don't throw the ball an awful lot. How about pass blocking?
Yeah. So going into this winter, I didn't really know anything about it, and I started going up to a place called the Lyman Lab in Cleveland, Ohio, and I've been working with my trainer Dale there, and he's really upped my game to a whole nother level. I think that I owe a lot of where I'm getting now to him because I went in there as a wing tee, not even knowing how to really get in a pass stance,
That's good.
and he's really taught me a lot.
He's highly, highly respected.
Very.
I think one of his assistants is too. But both those guys are, and plus, when you go up there, you're not facing kids from upper. I mean, you're facing good competition. I mean, there's some cats up there now that
Oh yeah.
are good, real dogs, as they say. Okay, that's really good. What else you have to? What else do you have to work on, or what do you have to work on?
Oh, I think there's always more work to put in. I think for me, using my hands more with my hips. I think my hands placement could always be better, as well as driving my feet and finishing the block every play.
Finishing the block, and please don't run those guys 50 yards down the field because you think you're a bad guy. Block him and look for somebody else to block. I get so tired of that evaluating films. These guys, they push them in the ground. The play's over when you push them in the ground, you know. But I watched your film. I got a call back a few weeks ago from some sports writer in Toledo for the Blade, and I watched your film. He didn't put everything I wanted him to put in there, but I thought you did really. Your feet are really good, and I'm surprised you don't play basketball because your feet are so good. And most offensive linemen, but and just get bigger and stronger the right way. And I'm sure you'll follow that idea with Dale up there. I mean, he's going to be on your. You don't want to be a big, big sloppy guy with, you don't want that. And I would keep working on my pass blocking because I think you're always going to have that run blocking but getting stronger there upper, and coming off the ball and things like that. But boy, get that pass blocking down because I think are you done growing?
I don't know. I maybe an inch, but I don't think so.
Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. By the way, what was your dad's first name? What's your dad's first name?
Sean.
Okay, Sean. I'm going to have to go back. I may have written about him because I've done this for a long, long time. And
Yeah.
I have to go back because I always, especially when Rex was there, I always stopped at your place and Patrick Henry because I always thought you guys, that's a rivalry. I know I can't say a name, Patrick Henry, but it's a rivalry with you guys. Okay. It's really good. Tell me, let's talk about another crazy question. Okay. What is, what is one thing that nobody knows about Kellen knows about you until now? What's something that nobody knows about you?
Um,
You're afraid of mice. I don't know.
that's a tough question.
Okay, I'll skip it and come back. Okay.
All right.
Let me ask you this one instead. What's one talent that you don't have that you'd like to have, but you'll never have it?
One talent I should have.
Yeah, no, any talent that you'd like to have, you don't have, and you'll never get
I'll never get it.
it.
Huh.
Anything, musical
I,
instrument.
I'd say juggling.
Okay. I'm surprised you guys don't do that with those 3 pins. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's good, and you'll probably never get it. Good. Okay, just a few more questions. And I think this is important because you're going into your junior year, and really, it's a tough. I think junior years are the toughest years because that's when I mean I don't. You'll improve after this, but that's when you really. That's where you really catch the guy recruiter's eyes and stuff like that. You catch their eye. Okay. With that being said, a freshman comes to you this year in August, 2 days. I don't even know if they call it that. Comes to you and says, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. I don't think I want to play. I just want to quit. I want to, I want to concentrate on farming or something. But what do you tell him?
I tell him to
You're
making a
a
huge.
leader now. What do you tell him?
I'm telling him he's making a huge mistake. I'm telling him, man. I'm telling him, man. This game, and this family. You only get this for 4 years. This is the best 4 years of your life. This team and this brotherhood that you get, you're not going to find it anywhere else, especially at Liberty Center. I think what we have here is super special. The community that it brings being on the football team, even if this kid that's coming out to me isn't going to be a huge contributor, this family and the love that this team always has and the culture is just something so special that I think everyone should want to be a part of. And I don't think that anyone should want to quit this team and leave the community that we have. I think it's incredible here.
My goodness. They need you to run for council or something. You can sell. That's a good job. So true. But you did a great job. I agree with you. What do you do away from football? Okay, what do you do away from when you're not working out? And that's almost a year-round job now. Working out. What do you do away from football?
In the summer, I have my own car detailing business, so
Really?
I do some car details, clean some cars.
I dropped $175 3 weeks ago. Have my car detailed on the inside only. I should have called you. I will. I'll get a hold of you here in a couple months.
For
Okay.
sure.
Okay. The last part is energy. I think sports and you need energy. And what I do, I think I need energy. I think it's so important. Energy. What kind of energy will you bring? Now, you're only a junior. What kind of energy will you bring to your team this year?
Yeah, I think that I'm an energy giver. I think I can get guys going, and that's what I like to do. I like to get a guy going. I like to, smack him in the helmet, head, but I think, you know, being a part of a team, you got to give energy. Everyone should be giving it. You don't want to have teammates that are taking energy and bringing it down. I think everyone should be bringing each other up, and I think that's a huge aspect of the game. Is everyone should be mentally locked in and ready to go and have that game energy.
That's good. And one thing with that, they got to respect you and you got to walk your talk. Whether you're a quiet guy or you got to the players have to respect you and you have to walk your talk. Okay. Was I'm going to come and recruit you. Okay. I'm going to come and recruit you and talk to you. What's the best quality as a person that you have? Not blocking, not tackling, not studying, any of that stuff. What's the best quality do you have,
I
Kellen?
really care. I really care about my teammates. I
Loyal.
want the best for my people around me and who I'm working with. I want to push people to be their best too.
That's really good. Tell me, what's culture mean to you?
Culture, I think that it's something that's engraved in a program. I think a culture is something that I think it's something everyone wants to be a part of. I think it's something that people hold to a high standard. And I don't think you can have a good culture in the span of 5 years. I think it's something that's built over a long period of time.
Boy, that's really good. You can start it at 5 years, but and then go, but you still got to keep growing, and that's really good. Okay, let's talk about two things. Let's talk about camps. Why are college camps important?
I think that for me this summer it was important to, go and show out what I could do and the abilities I am able to do on the football field and how I'm able to move. I think that if I didn't go to any camps, I don't think I'd be looked at the same way. I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of guys to go and show out in front of coaches.
That's really good. And if you're younger, you're younger, get on that list if you do well. Get on that sophomore list. What would be 228 list now. Okay. And I think I totally agree with you. And I think if you don't go to camps, some camps, Toledo, didn't they offer you off of camp?
They did not. They offered me off spring practice.
Oh, they did.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
okay. Okay. I thought they did. But okay, talked about camps. I'll talk about recruiting a little bit because this is not what I really do. I mean, I know it, but you've gotten some offers, and I know you've got the Ohio State offer, and none of these offers for most people are committable, right? They're
Right.
offers to get better and everything, and they know about. Well, for heaven's sakes, they're good because they know about you, and it gives the media, sports media, whom I don't really care for, gives them a job to write about stuff like that. But sometimes they exaggerate. But tell me, what are you looking for in a college?
Like we already talked about today, I'm definitely looking for a good culture. I'm looking for, a brotherhood, a family feel, teammates that really care about each other, want to be with each other. They want to be there. They enjoy it. They love it. And I think that for me, it's important to be somewhat close to home.
Okay. Okay. That's really good. Okay, I really appreciate you. I was going to ask you one more question. What do you want your teammates to say about you behind your back?
I hope my teammates think I'm a great leader and
Okay,
that, they I've got their back all the time.
that's really super. Kellen, I appreciate you being on my show, my podcast, and just talking to you. I'm excited because you seem like a quality young person with a very good football future ahead of you.
Thank
So
you.
I'm sure we'll talk again.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
That's great.